Hi, this is Christy Sloan here at My Artful Adventures, and this is our third time today to paint something. We're going to do a ceramic, and this is no need to worry about having a kiln to fire. We're just going to do a piece of bisque, which is clay that's been fired once, and once it's fired once, it's called bisque, and you really don't have to fire it again. And I just recently learned that. So see, there's always something that you can be learning. And we are going to I really like peacocks. And the other day I found some ornaments that kind of are in that color scheme for a Christmas tree, and I decided today that I would try to kind of mess around with some colors like that and make a funky tree and not your normal green or whatever. And so I'm going to try that out. Now, I'm not going to worry about whether it's going to be perfect or how that's going to turn out. And who knows, maybe in the end I'll have to repaint it. But, as we go through, you might look at it and go, what in the world is she thinking? Or you might go, oh, yeah, I know that's going to really turn out great. So I don't know. Either way, we're going to give it a go. So I'm going to switch the camera here. Now, this is kind of funny because earlier today when I was messing around with this thing kept sliding all around. And so it is good because it'll keep, it's easy to clean off. So in that regard, I really like it. Nope, and I forgot to, nope, I did fix my phone. All right, so first off, I am just going to, I think I'm going to do the base gold to go with this extravaganza. Except, you know what? I'm not going to paint that first because it's got a bunch of glitter stuff. It's really sparkly. Now I like the sparkly, but I don't really need all of that showing. I don't really know why we can't get more of the table in here. Oh, here we go. That's a little bit better. Okay, now what we're going to do is I'll get some paint out. And like I said, you don't have to fire these again, just once, just the way they come, this bisqueware, and you're good to go. So I've got these colors here. I've kind of got a couple of two colors of blue, kind of these teal color, a couple of those, a couple of purples, and then this lighter teal color or aqua. I don't really think it's aqua. So what I like to do is do the bottom first, or the underneath. And you don't really have to worry too much about the bottom. And if you leave some of the bottom open, that works out well to have a spot to write your name. These kinds of things are kind of fun to be able to paint with your family and write your name on it and the year that you made it, and then have a place to look back on, have something to look at. I'm just going to squirt a bunch of paint out here of each of these colors, and I'm not really going to mix them, and I just want to kind of go in and dab a little here, dab a little there, and just see where this takes us. I hope it takes us somewhere good. Who knows? That one's a little bit light. Those are awfully close, but we'll see. If anything, at least it's going to be different, right? It's going to be very different. And I hope it turns out. And if it doesn't, I'll let it dry and I'll paint it. It's something else. It's just paint. Paint isn't that expensive. Although paint has been harder to get the last few months. Some of the manufacturers had to, well, I guess, everybody did, actually. Everybody had to close down for some amount of time. Okay. So, we're going to get going here. And you can just use one of these cheap brushes. It's called a chip brush, and they will cover a lot of territory. So, you know, they're just kind of stiff and so we're just gonna, I'm gonna put some water on here. And as you thin out the paint some with the water, it goes on real easy. And you know, if you get some on and you need to wipe some off, or you need to, if it's too thick and it's not spreading around very well, you can always just come back in. I don't know what is going on here. I just feel like it's not in as good a place as I had it at some point. I don't know. Okay, so just do a little bit here and there. But if we turn it up in the pointy part, then we can do the underneath part of all the branches. And by doing all of those, then we can come back and hit the tops. And who knows? I have no idea what I'm doing. You can just watch. But I did kind of like the way that when this was a little bit damper, it was a good place to start. It just seemed like the paint moved around a little bit easier for the first layer. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this purple, kind of this darker purple, and a little bit of this. And see what I did? I just kind of put them both on here. And I'm just going to swipe them like this. Ooh, I'm liking this. Who knows? Maybe my crazy method wasn't so crazy after all. Oh gosh, I could really... Of course, I love these colors. I just love blues and green. Oh, I forgot to get a green. I was going to get kind of a... No, we'll see how this goes. I was going to get something that was kind of a bright yellow green. We'll see. We might use that later. What do you think? I like this. I'm just going to kind of mix some of the paint up as I go. I don't really want it mixed though. I liked it better when it was kind of just on there, a little of this color, a little of that color. And it's getting some on the top, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. And, you know, maybe I'll dip over here, get a little of that. And just by hitting some of this on here, I might have to take another little brush a little bit later. I know, it looks like a crazy mess. Yeah, I might be okay with that. It's my crazy mess, and I'll own it. But I'm trying not to get the paint like mixed, and if it is, I'm going to take a little bit and sweep it under here, and so it doesn't just all become completely one solid color. are getting a little bit too much of one color there. A little bit of this blue-green color. I'm liking it. Now we'll have to see what happens on the top, right? Oops, that's really wild. Okay. Okay, so there we go. Wild and crazy. So now, I think I'll wash my brush out a little bit and go with less purple maybe on the top portion. But all you have to do when you're done with these is if you want them to be shiny, you can put like glossy Mod Podge on. You could, and there's some other products I think that also are kind of glossy. So we ran into a little trouble during the recording. I jiggled my laptop or something, and the fan had come on, and it was making so much racket that people couldn't even hardly hear me, or it was so much background noise, and on their end it sounded kind of like static. So when I found out that it was just terrible, we went ahead and stopped, and so then I came back in, and we continued from there. So I've just detached that part. It was just terrible. So I haven't drug out a decent microphone to talk right now or anything, but you can see how I am just tapping the paint on, just stroking it down and not really mixing it. Just kind of leaving each of the colors so that they show up individually, and just blending just a little bit. And I'm really liking the way that it's looking like this. Just think you could do your tree any color that you wanted, any kind of combination that you like. I really like blues and purples and greens all together. I thought about adding, a little bit of a bright green, but I opted for this kind of this peacock or the teal color instead. So here we go back into the other. So, okay. So back to painting. I think this is kind of fun. It's kind of funky. Part of it looks like kind of candle wax dripping or something. But I'm getting kind of those funky colors like for peacock colors. I'm loving that. And I think using quite a bit of paint on it is like getting it to blend and be able to kind of drip some of these together. You just never know what you might come up with, right? Maybe I'll put a little bit more purple in. I think every spot is going to look different. And I'm trying to not brush too much. That's getting a little muddy right there. You get some good brush strokes and it's not too bad. No, I don't have purple lights. I do have quite a few of the different colors of, well, I do have some purple, and I've got quite a few of the blue ones, and I have enough of these that I've painted several things, and I've got a variety of little lights that have been, left, hit or miss, kind of what I've got on hand. So I could probably use like blue and purple lights. That's a swell idea. I like that. That would be pretty. And I don't know if you heard, I don't know,
I had something covering up the view on my screen, and I didn't even know anybody was with me. I was by myself for the first two these I did today, but I don't know if you heard me say that I had found some Christmas ornaments that were kind of peacock themed, or the colors are, real pretty for, long peacock feather like, and so that was what kind of made me think about doing something like this tonight. Just something different. Have you done one of these, Melanie? I think I'm going to have to wash my brush out again. It's hard to keep, and I've got some little places, I've still got some white. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these white places peeking out, because I don't really want to go back in and smear paint on it. It'll just make it muddy. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. Oh, we were just talking about that. Jet, Melanie was saying, did I have any purple lights? And I told her I've got quite a few of a variety of them from the different things I've been painting. So I don't know. I've got enough. I can probably mess around and see what I like. That'll be fun. Who knew? I tell you what, a few months ago, I would have never dreamed I would be painting any kind of Christmas trees. I just think it's so cool that you can do these bisque pieces and not have to fire them. I had no clue. I just always thought that you had to have, a kiln, and you had to fire things 2 times. No clue. I used to have two of these years ago. One was green, and I think one was white. And I have no. I think it had white lights on it, and I don't even know where in the world they came from. Somebody had made them, and I don't know where we got them. But I had two of them for the longest time, and then they kind of went by the wayside. I did not make them. I don't know who did. I imagine so, and I did know. I had my grandfather remarried, and I know his wife liked to mess around with some kinds of things like this, and that might have been where some of it came from. I have no clue. They're fun, Jet. You should get one. I would have never thought that it would have been so fun to. Well, I've had more fun doing this one. And actually, the little gold one, I did that. I don't know if you saw the little gold one, but it was kind of fun to do, and it didn't take long. That other tree, that 11-inch tree, is more narrow, and it doesn't take long to do at all. Some of these man, I hate just trying to smudge paint in them too much because they don't. Anybody have a good idea as to what to do with the white areas without having to go back in and put a bunch of paint and mess it up? Yes, the white ones with the red. Those were, that would be a pretty combination. Oops, that's a little bit more purple on that one. Well, one thing about it, even if you, with some of this, if you even dry brushed it a little bit with, a hit or miss of color, those strokes in it really kind of bring it to life. I don't know. I really don't even mind the little white things that I've still got sticking out some places. It kind of, it's almost like it's got a little bit of snow or something. I guess if you use some of that snow text on it, you maybe could get by with not even filling in the places that needed a little color. I don't know. Yeah, I could probably take like just a tiny brush with just a dab of any color of these paints on them and fill in some of the little places. Oh, I bet that. Well, that's kind of the way that I've seen some of those. That's the way I did the truck and tree, was to paint it black first. That's amazing how that works like that. Nobody would even think to do that I don't think if they hadn't seen that. And I had seen it, I didn't come up with that. But it really is an interesting way to do that, to take that black and cover it all in black, kind of a black wash first. Yeah, I don't know. There's an awful lot of this that has little bits of white sticking out. It almost makes me wish I would have done some kind of a wash on the whole thing first. Then I wouldn't have had these tiny little, I don't know, can you see, like, you can see the little bits of white in a lot of the places. So I don't know about that. Not sure what I'm gonna do. What color do you think I should do the base? I was thinking about doing it gold, but I don't know. I'm kind of thinking maybe the way this looks, I've got some silver. I might rather do it silver. What do you guys think? I'm crowdsourcing. It's kind of funny. I've got some of these places that end up having more of the same color every time I turn them. Like this has got a big purpley spot. Yeah, I think you're right, Jet. I think a little bit of a little tiny brush might be the best way to fill in some of it. I don't think you guys can see down here at the bottom. I appreciate you joining in this evening. Thank you. Okay, well, there you go. I think I have all of that done. And there's a lot of spots that need some help. I don't know. I don't know if I use a little brush. I think I just dab it. Nope. Okay, I don't like that. That was not a good technique. I don't know, maybe just get more paint on and just dab, just poke at it, it seems like it's kind of filling in some of that white. And then it's not taking away so much from whatever color's already there. And that little bit of white kind of, is kind of a nice little highlight, actually. I think I can go in here, though, and pick and choose some of these colors that maybe it doesn't have much in that spot. I tell you what, some of these places, like I'm trying to get this white on, they're kind of deep. So I would say if you get one of these, I would say yes, do a wash first. And then you don't have to go back and do all this. But I really like this color combo a lot. I think just dabbing in here. I just don't even really have much else to say today, ladies. Holy cow. 3 of these was a lot. I'm trying to get ready. I'm going to go out of town. And so I wanted to get these done because I know, I have no idea what kind of inventory that we're looking at that's still available. And so I wanted to make sure and do this so that if anybody wanted to pick one up, that they would have a chance to do that. Yes, there's always a learning curve, right? Everything. I don't know. I haven't minded this much. I would not pick this on purpose, probably, and I'm not gonna really, do a lot of these ceramics. I have other things I'm more interested in than painting ceramics, but I just thought it was fun, and who doesn't want to try something new? I do. I like trying new stuff. And especially, when you find out that you don't have to fire it. When we moved into the house that we have now, they were basically doing an estate sale before we had come. And actually, we had seen the house when they were doing the estate sale, and that was the first time we'd seen it. And a lady who had lived here, she did, it looked like she did an awful lot of sewing and things like that. And it looked like this house had been in the same family for years. And I think the same people who originally had the house built had lived here, somebody in their family for years. And the guy did a lot of woodwork. And so one area of our house had been like a woodworking shop. And we've turned it into a man cave now. There's still some tables and counters and things like that. But there's none of the woodworking equipment. All of that had been sold. But there was a kiln. And so they were asked when they saw, when we saw that there was the kiln, my husband was asking me, if I wanted it. And it wasn't real big. And I told him, I said, it would just be another thing for me to have to figure out, how to do it and what I was going to do with it. And I was just going to be strong and say no. So I saved myself getting into yet another kind of craft. Probably one of the smarter things that I have chosen to do. Stay away. But I tell you what, I haven't really found very many crafts I have not enjoyed over my lifetime. And there's some that I gravitate more toward than others. And some crafts just, they're just more expensive um, to participate in on a higher level. And I think that's one thing nice about, painting, and so many people can enjoy painting, is it's really not that expensive of a hobby. And you have some paints and a few paint brushes that are decent, and good grief, think of the different kinds of things that you can, paint on. I remember when when we had gotten our first home, and we didn't have a lot of extra money floating around, and it's hard filling up a house with everything that you need when you come from just apartments and things like that. And I remember we somewhere, I think I found at a garage sale, there was this cute little table and chairs, and part of it was a bench. So we had this teensy little kitchen area, and so a bench made it great for, a family of five. I think at that time we still had one little person in a high chair, so really we just needed four. But there was always the kids always had friends over or something, and so and it had a little hutch. And I had some other chairs. There weren't enough chairs to go around, and I had some other chairs that I don't know. I think I'd gotten them from my parents' house. And so I took those chairs, and at the time I had those a false craft pattern. It's one of their main patterns that's been around forever. It's that blue, kind of a blue gray pattern, and I had a bunch of those. And I took that. Seems like it's kind of like just a scrolly, just like big flower kind of things of just like big paint brush strokes. And so I had taken those, and I took those little, just that shape, and I took a paintbrush and I put that design on the chairs to the table. And I had something else, and got a um, like a jug from a like apple cider. And I think we kept change or something in it for a long time. But I'd put that same design on that, and you just kind of mess around. And so I had all these things that I had done myself, really, with that one. I just took the design that was in my in my dishes. But, so a little bottle of paint went a long way, and it was just regular acrylic paint, and that was all it was. And just it just, man, it just went on that glass like slick as everything and stayed. I didn't know if it would stay on there or not, but it wasn't being washed or anything. It just sat there. Oh my gosh, I really like this. I don't know. Yes, it was a lot. See, I don't know about the gold. Let me grab a silver. I kind of think silver might be more the way to go. Or maybe just that deep purple. I don't know. Do you think silver? I don't know. I'm thinking maybe just that real deep purple for the base. What do you think? I'll try the silver. Although I might go back and do the. I think I'll do the silver for now. Let's see. These are two different ones. One is that extreme sheen. Maybe I'll just use that. And I think I'll do. You know what? I wonder how it would look if I just did it with these colors. I'm going to do that. I'm just going to mix it in. I I even love the, no, that's not mixed. There we go. You know what? I'm just going to mix some of it with these colors. We'll give it a little bit of shine. Okay, here we go. No, I don't know. I don't like that. I would rather just have it the silver color, I think. for the really dark purple. Not because it just looks more like the tree. It doesn't really look like it's got the base. Please hold. Okay. Almost need some extra water here. Let's see how this goes. I'm gonna have to get another plate. This one's dry, so I'll just use that. I'm gonna try this other silver. It's not quite so runny. Oops, ding. Okay. These big brushes make it fast. My brush probably has too much water in it still, though. It's got a little bit of those colors coming through still, but I like it better. I think just a hint of those colors is fine. Otherwise, it was kind of a little much and wasn't even looking much like a base. Yeah, I like that. I think that'll go nicely. I don't know. I don't have anything shiny to put on it yet. I haven't really even tried that. The couple of things I've done before, I didn't really even put any on, and I was happy with it. It might be nice to put some on here, and then I'm not sure if I'm going to put the snow text on it either. I think I'm just going to leave it like this and enjoy it and decide later about that. But let's stick in the light and start putting some of these other colors on. See what we think. Oh, I gotta put it in here. Ah, that's not dry yet. Well, shoot. I'm ahead of myself. That's gonna have to dry out a minute. You know what I could do? I'm gonna get this other one. Well, ta-da, I guess we can see how it looked on gold. So, it's kind of bright. That gold is kind of bright. I am going to back up here a little bit. So you can see it better. And now I'll put this in. I should have done this already. Yikes. I don't think I could go for number 4 today. This is it. I'm toasted. Yeah, Melanie says she's used the glossy Mod Podge before, but it never quite dried all the way and it stayed kind of tacky. Yes, I've had other things that people, not even the glossy, but just other things that people suggested. And I'm just not always that happy with with those. Look, if you use we've got two colors of blue and the purple lights. Ooh, I like that, don't you? Look at that. Oh, that is gorgeous. Very cool. I would go get some more of those. Very, very cool. I really like the way that this has turned out. You can't, the one thing about it though, the lights like that, they're hard to see. They don't show up nearly as well. I'll put that up a little bit better. But like when you dim them, they just don't show up as well as like some of the lighter colors. Like if you put the light colors in, like here's the clear, and the clear ones show up, and the pink ones aren't bad. They show up a little bit better. But yeah, the purple ones, they just don't show up that well. The yellow ones show up good. I don't think I'd put yellow on this tree. But some of these are very different in the way that they show up. I don't even think the green might really not even be that bad on here either. It shows up nice. Um, but I just have to play around with it. But I think I really am happy with the way that the tree part has turned out with the colors. So I guess that's probably it. I don't think we need to continue playing with my tree anymore. I don't know. I appreciate you joining me though. I really do. I'm so glad that you guys came and hung out for a while. And so be sure and stay in touch. And I hope are you thinking that you're going to do one, Melanie? Or have you already done one? Thanks, Melanie. And I don't know if Jet was able to stay on any longer or not. I don't know if she's still here with us. But thank you. Appreciate your time. And so you go enjoy the rest of your evening. And we'll talk again soon. I'm sure if you are in our group, I'm sure we'll be in touch. So oh, and I forgot to tell for anybody else. I may have told us the first time, but we switched our live. So if you go to, I'll put it in the notes, but if or in the description or in a comment, I'll put it somewhere on this broadcast. But if you want to go ahead and get your own tree, you can go over to my website, myartfuladventures.com, and look on the top under classes and events. And you'll see the link there, and it's got the picture or it's got all three. It's got the truck and tree, the Christmas trees, and the gingerbread house. So just pick on, click down there on the link to those different things, and you can go and get your own tree or truck or gingerbread house and paint them. But don't wait too long because I'm sure that the inventories aren't just completely never ending. So if you're interested in doing one and painting it for yourself so that you can have one and enjoy it for years to come, year after year, and enjoy the memories that you had while you were creating it just by yourself or with friends or with family, then don't miss out. So thanks again, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.